Welcome back to the OCE Championship for the top 6 playoffs live in Showdown Studios. My name is Asterix, joined by Courier Lord and Yummy Cheeseman in the middle. And now that we're through league play, we're staring down the barrel of going further towards RLCS.
We're 1 week away from finding out who represents Oceania at the RLCS World Championship.
And it has never been tighter as well. So many of these teams have burst each other, dropped some games, picked up some others. So it's really anyone's game today.
Couple of teams on the line immediately. Couple of teams have 2 chances here today. However, for $25,000 US dollars, you cannot be too careful.
Currently, these teams in today's competition have guaranteed themselves at least $1,500 US dollars, but they're looking to get that minimum $2,500.
And for those that do manage to go all the way, not only do you get that huge prize pool of $8,250, but you also get the RLCS prize pool for at least $5,500. Yep. 5,500.
Perfect, Graham.
Nailed
Perfect.
it.
But here's how it works. If you have missed out on our league play, Darksided and Tainted Minds, they did finish, well, at least in the 3rd and 4th position, so they get a bit of a leg up here today.
The difference between these teams, and we've seen in 3rd and 4th, Darksided and Tainted Minds, they took losses to bottom 4 teams. The bottom 4 teams that are here today, Retirement Home and Jam, took wins against those top teams.
Yeah, but in this matchup, though, it's part of a triangle of death that we may be seeing running through the entire tournament, with Tainted Minds narrowly beating out Darksided, but having opponents up the rest of the pitch.
Darksided beat out Legacy, and Legacy beat out Tainted Minds. So in the battle for 2nd place, that is a very difficult scenario for those teams.
So when it comes to the counter gameplay, Tainted Minds and Darksided have to be scared about those teams behind them that have previously beaten them, as well as looking ahead.
And that is the thing, because teams like Retirement Home and Jam have come up and they've defeated Darksided and Tainted Minds respectively. If you fall short, these guys will take the opportunity to take top 4.
A single loss in this series can be devastating. Obviously, Retirement Home and Jam Gaming, if they lose, they cannot make it into the top 4. And not only that, those 2 teams, because they didn't perform as well during league play, don't have the opportunity to do anything better than 4th seed.
And that is the issue here, because 4th seed is good. But what if you go up against the Chiefs in their strife right now? You could be knocked down, and RLCS dreams come short.
And for context, Chiefs is undefeated this entire league play. So 4th seed and 3rd seed are very, very different beasts.
They are literally the NRG of NA right now, and I know that match is going on. However, for you folks sitting at home, this is how today is going to work. The first matchup being Tainted Minds and Darksided will be an instant qualification.
All of these are best of 7s, and they're so high pressure matches. Down in that bottom bracket, you're done if you lose.
And if you do manage to win, you're going to have to fight one of the top 4 teams in the region to get a chance to then fight Chiefs.
And with new players on the line of Tainted Minds and Darksided alike, we have new players who could potentially go to RLCS. This is a big opportunity.
There is a guarantee that at least one new player will go to RLCS.
Yeah, so many roster changes outside of Chiefs, the only roster to actually keep their whole team across the seasons.
So this being the last chance for some of these teams, Darksided taking on Tainted Minds will be our first series of the day. Instant qualification, and for 2 of these teams, they've been in this position before.
They have been so close, and these 2 teams were one of the closest teams in league play. They went to a Game 5. It almost went to overtime until Tainted Minds sprinted ahead.
And they had that overtime in Game 3, so doesn't matter. They still managed to sneak one in.
Well, even Game 2 to 4, where they were all incredibly close, and it's kind of become, I guess, the story of the day, a lot of these grudge matches where they sort of seesawing back and forth.
Yeah, and then stylistically, they're really interesting as well, because one team is more playing in that pressure in the midfield, which is Darksided. On the flip side, Tainted Minds loves their passes.
Well, Darksided are very structured, and it's their strength and their weakness. We saw it against Tainted Minds. It works really well at making sure that not only are they in the right positions, but they're also able to break their structure and communicate it really well and adapt to what Tainted Minds are doing.
Yeah, and breaking the structure is something they're really good at through their demo use. Every single one of their players is about top 5 in most demos. So even if they can't beat you in the rotation, they destroy your rotation.
The most demoing team, and again, it's because they are able to break that structure.
The explosive playstyle Tainted Minds, however, before they had a pretty slow start to league play, they've come back and managed to find that Game 5 win. How do we see Tainted Minds clawing over the line again?
Again, it comes down to Tainted Minds. We've said it throughout the season, just playing so incredibly fast.
Yeah, that's the awkward place Darksided gets left in. They're like the second most fastest team, and then Tainted Minds just too fast with those pass plays that are almost never intercepted.
The problem, the downside of the structure of Darksided is that it makes them very predictable. As the series goes on and on, you'll see Tainted Minds adapt to them a lot more, and they'll be shutting down a lot of those passes. They're one of the best intercepting teams.
Yeah, and then they can go up in the air. And I think that'll be another thing I want to be watching for from the analyst desk is you look over at Darksided and nearly all their goals come from ground play, whereas over 30% of the goals coming out of Tainted Minds are aerial. So if you're a pressure team keeping them on the ground, they can go over. You're in trouble.
That being said, Darksided do have the second most aerials out of any team behind Tainted Minds.
Well, that adaptation needs to be made then, because Tainted Minds, they get room to breathe, and suddenly they're a dangerous squad. In his first qualifying match career, let's start with you. How confident are you to back Darksided or Tainted Minds alike when qualifications are on the line?
I'm not super confident, but I am going to back Tainted Minds. I think having that adaptation and that time as well to study Darksided is going to pay dividends for them.
It's been 2 weeks since this matchup, and it was incredibly close. But I'm looking at last week in the performances. I think Tainted Minds started out of the gate stronger than normal, but Darksided were a monster of a team. They controlled the pitch immensely, and I think that they're going to edge slightly ahead today.
It's the death triangle, isn't it, gentlemen, where Darksided took down Legacy. Tainted Minds fall short, but then they grow in Game 5. I'm going to back Tainted Minds.
Darksided have that chance to completely break apart that triangle. Their losses to Tainted Minds, they can turn that around with this win.
Tainted Minds, if they can do it again, we expect to see a Game 5, but we have to get there first. Tainted Minds taking on Darksided is about to jump on your screen, and I think this is the most important series because getting that third seed, you go up against Legacy. Both of these teams do not want to face off with the Chiefs.
Well, it takes the stress off, right? You immediately qualify, and you don't have to verse Chiefs. Rather, if you lost, you may not even qualify. And if you do, you do verse Chiefs. You get beaten down twice.
It's doubly scary, too, because, again, those Retirement Home and Jam Gaming teams were the teams that beat these two earlier in the season. They're the ones that caused those massive upsets.
Yeah, so there's no safety nets, even though you do get that extra life.
I think Tainted Minds will be feeling confident after the win, though. There is a difference between finding a win in Game 5 and maybe finding a clean win, yes. But a Game 5 nonetheless. Tainted Minds took it. Now they're looking for the rematch, and the grudge continues. Best of 7, Game 1, here we go.
It's the rematch of the tightest match of the season, and Darksided looking to cause the upset against Tainted Minds.
And for Darksided, immediately on the defense and room to breathe. That's what we said about Tainted Minds. In front of net, they find themselves, and Jules sets it up for CJ. CJ, the bouncer, to reach Express and then to Shady. Kami goes around as well. Jules waiting in the midfield, and Tainted Minds look like they're already ready to push up. The counterattack from Darksided, they bring it off the wall. And now through the slip is there, but Kami comes in the nick of time.
This is a rematch as well as of the qualifying match in the lower bracket of last season. We could see these two teams fighting it again later in the finals for that position.
Strict, hard-working team in Darksided, and now from the left wing. They've definitely shown it throughout the weeks. And Darksided, their league play has always been quite clean, quite pristine. Tainted Minds, they're always the aggressors. They push themselves forward. That backboard is going to launch the ball off. Kami bringing it to a standstill with Jules. CJ in the midfield. Only minutes past. We're now getting the feel again. Jules' swipe. And again, that's an issue.
You can really see the tension here, but Tainted Minds, they're not opting to go for any pressure plays whatsoever. Just passes in the midfield. One big play to get that goal.
And keeping it high again, Tainted Minds. Straight through the air, Jules pops it up now for Kami. That corner was close, and the block again.
That is so typical of Darksided, staying in the net, just blocking every shot and trying to intercept the play before it happens.
Back on the defensive, Darksided will not get that intercept. It goes back over to Kami. CJ waiting for the pass across. Kami pops it up. CJ goes for it, but it goes over the top, and immediately the spacing from Darksided, it spreads out. Shady with the solo play. Dumbo coming in, and a close one for CJ.
As soon as Tainted Minds commit 2 members forward, that's when you see Darksided gain all of that confidence to make that big counter play. They'll go very aggressive after that.
But for Tainted Minds, they don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. From this right corner, Express gets a touch on it, loses the second one, and pops it back up into the air. Kami with a good pass, intercepted. And Darksided, they get speed on this ball. From the right corner, they should be able to rearrange it, get it into the center, and Kami will have no trouble whatsoever getting the clear, and initiated well by Tainted Minds.
We're not seeing these pressure plays coming out from Darksided, and that is Tainted Minds being able to intercept a lot of these passes before they get to the Darksided roster. And that's something showing that they have been studying Darksided, what they do, and countering their play before it happens.
Really the difference between Tainted Minds and a team like potentially Retirement Home and Jammers, they've come through. We'll have a look at them later for Retirement Home now. Sorry, for Tainted Minds now, back in the mind set. CJ will look for the clear. That's a demolition. Kami's trying to hang back and a little bit wide of that net. They come through and Express brings it around the corner. Jules going to head up as well. Shady getting the better touch off onto that backboard, and the first one goes to Dumbo.
Shady just got up to that ball first. We've seen that they are able to get aerial dominance here, and they make sure that they touch it in the exact right location. Dumbo also beating out the defender.
And a good read by Darksided. Usually we see them go into league play, go into the finals, and they are the one to kick things off. In the first game, they get the first goal, no doubt. 2 minutes left remaining. Express will read this and hand it over to CJ. CJ, the bouncer there for Shady over the top now, hanging around this left wing still. Tainted Minds is going to set them back just a little bit. Jules hops up for the ball, and you can see tensions running high, the qualification spot on the line.
The last time these two played as well, we saw Tainted Minds go down 4-1 in that first game. They're a slow starting team. They need to build up that confidence and trust. And this is actually a good sign that they're only 1 goal behind at this point.
Now 1 minute 30, Jules handing it up to CJ. CJ, that's a long pass off the corner now. Jules waits patiently. Kami coming in off the back as well. The pass through intercepted by Shady. That big clear is going to get Kami up to the ball, and he'll use the majority of his boost pitched out of the corner, but slow and steady for Tainted Minds, getting it out of this defensive side of the field. Express up to the ball. Shady now from the corner as well, and Darksided feel like they're getting there first. They're holding the possession, and the defense continues from Tainted Minds.
Pay attention to the way that Darksided rotate in that forward half. They get a lot of demos whenever that first person goes in, because then they go for that wide rotation.
Now with the explosive play again. Shot comes out from Kami. It's a bit light. Darksided uses this opportunity to get the clear. Now moving up as a cohesive unit. Over to the corner. Dumbo will get the first touch. Second one from Shady. The third is going to be a banger, but it's not found. CJ will clear it out of the way. 30 seconds left remaining, and Tainted Minds are left wanting.
That's very typical of Darksided, staying back when they have a lead. They prefer to hold on to the lead rather than take a new one, and it's bitten them as Kami is the one to equalize.
Did not expect him to come forward. Kami reads it perfectly, and just on the tip, gets there before Dumbo.
It's been about aerial dominance so far. Who can get up to the ball first is going to win this out.
Looks like Kami that time made a statement for Tainted Minds. 28 seconds, 1-1. And in game 1, the close, tight play that we've been seeing all league play, that game 5, that moved in Tainted Minds' direction. It feels like things are ever so tense.
This will be massive for Tainted Minds if they can take out this first game. That could be their first step towards the World Championship.
Jules narrowly saves that one. Darksided have another chance, and the shot's going to go wide. Hits that side post. Now the counter clear as Jules walks up as well. Good read on the ball, but misses it. And now for the last opportunity, again the ball goes wide for overtime.
This is overtime. Darksided and Tainted Minds still haven't found their pass plays. They still haven't found their comfort zone. If the first team can, they will take the win.
Remember, it's the lead in the series that gets you going. The qualification spot, 3rd seed on the line as Darksided come in strong. The demolition will halt everything, but that's all in the past. Now centering the ball for Tainted Minds. Jules going up for it as well. The shot's there. Easy clear, easy save by Express, but Tainted Minds do not relinquish any of this pressure. They continue to hang in the midfield, keep the ball high.
Neither team want to give up any ground. It's about defense here in this overtime. Getting this first game is so crucial.
All the way over to Dumbo. Darksided hanging tight, but now with that clear, Shady, it'll narrowly go past the roof. Darksided bringing the ball back, 45 seconds into this overtime. Dumbo playing precariously without boost, and the center will be there. Tainted Minds trying to get a step ahead of Darksided. Sometimes it's hard because with this clear, Darksided feel like they're in the moment from the corner. They will not get anything out of it. Now the runaway as 2-3 members were up. Dumbo luckily back in time.
That's the demo. That has opened up the net, but Jules is not able to finish it off just in time. Darksided getting back for the clutch save.
Express read off the roof. Kami clearing it again. Left wing now for Jules. Hanging back. Kami, no boost, but happy to take this one along. CJ. No Shadies there. We'll have to play around him. Express for the center. And a pass there for Dumbo.
That was the first pass play coming out from Darksided. That is one of their bread and butter goals, but not quite finding that spot at the moment.
Well, Darksided, they feel like they're a bit under pressure, but Tainted Minds. A couple of shots have been thrown at them in this overtime, and they continue to be on the defensive. CJ, the demolition goes onto Jules, but CJ has taken the ball himself. Good pop-up from Shady. He'll pass it back. Now for Darksided, they're looking to maybe pass this cross to Dumbo, but CJ, he'll get there. He'll clear it. Dumbo, now only 20 boosts left in the tank. CJ should be able to knock this one, but leaves it for Kami. And looks like the use of creative plays will start coming out now, 2 minutes into overtime.
With Darksiders staying back, we're seeing Tainted Minds sometimes commit 2 people. The game will either end once Darksided get that counterattack, or if Tainted Minds can just get a big goal.
The aggression is being halted by Darksided. They've kept it in this corner with no clear. CJ will dribble the ball up. He's run out of boost, but he's done what he needs to do. He'll take the corner boost as well, and the aggression does not stop. The pass is kind of there. Jules gets the demo. He flicks that one across. CJ passes it back, and with 2 demos, you'd have to think that Tainted would have found that.
That is so close. Tainted Minds just need to find that one big moment, but they're not working as 3 men forward. They're holding one back, and that could have made the difference in that play.
Jules and CJ went up, and now Darksided with the slip under the rug. Tainted Minds, they've got to be careful here. The defense maybe not going to hold out forever. CJ dribbles it through the air, but Tainted continue their path into the way of the net. The destruction continues as well.
You can see it's CJ who's the difference maker here. Unpredictable plays, getting a lot of these intercepts in the midfield, and this might end it up. It doesn't go through, but it's another great opportunity for Tainted.
But with speed on the ball, Tainted always look right at home. 3 minutes 15, Express up for the ball now to clear over to this side. So much on the line. That's a miss from CJ, but no one from Darksided to capitalize. Shady will meet mid-air, the 50-50. Wins over, and Darksided keep it down this side of the field, 3 minutes 30. Shady now in position as he hangs back. He'll pick up the boost, but CJ passes it downfield. No one receives it. Shady knocks it back, and Jules will be the one to get it out of this corner. Dumbo off the backboard again. Darksided. They're getting ample opportunity, but Tainted Minds just narrow their field of vision.
You can tell how much pressure there is because they're scrambling in defense. Both teams are just trying to hold on.
From the corner again, Shady wants to play with angles. CJ knocks it down. Express was coming to intercept that ball, and Shady wins it over again. Darksided still holding possession. Long pass plays coming out. Dumbo misses a second touch, but not for Express.
Express finishes that off. That is his bread and butter. He finds the angle. Dumbo off the corner, and it ends up going to an aerial. You see how hesitant Jules was in that play? That was what allowed Darksided to take that lead.
For game 1, Darksided find the momentum in the series, and now they can push forward. Tainted Minds, remember, in the series a couple of weeks ago, best of 5, Tainted Minds did not win the first game.
They went down 4-1. It was a huge performance from Darksided. It might have even been 5-1, but it's turned around. This is Tainted Minds finding a great start to their run. We saw it in the last week of league play as well, up against Legacy. They actually took that first game before losing the rest of it. So they've been working on that quite a lot.
Because this triangle of death, it rotates, but for Darksided, now they have an opportunity to silence Tainted Minds. This is a very different game, however. Game 1 does not feel like what we saw in the last series a couple of weeks ago.
There wasn't a lot of pass plays from either team. Tainted Minds, normally, they don't try for any pressure. They're not trying to rotate as well as possible. They just get forward and get that pass across and instantly put it in the net. They want to get the goal before you have a chance to set a defense.
Darksided feel like they're intercepting this ball a lot more often than Tainted Minds can hold on to.
I don't think they're intercepting the ball. The passes just aren't coming out from Tainted Minds. I think that a lot of that is pressure. And then on the other side, Darksided only really had a couple of pass plays, those big infields, but neither of them were scored. There's like a little bit of warm-up needed.
I think it's interesting that you say, you know, a bit of nerves, and even in the position when they went to RLCS, Tainted Minds performed. They took down the old Jam Gaming roster. This is a time for Tainted Minds to really just raise expectations again and get back into the field.
It doesn't matter. Jules is a brand new player, and Dumbo as well. So even though there is that experience, it's up to those individuals.
Both teams in game 2 going to be looking to quell those nerves and move forward. Darksided taking game 1, the demolition onto CJ. There's no push coming from Tainted Minds anyway. Jules will recover, but Dumbo brings it back in. That one's going to be a bouncer in front of net. Kami hits it back. Now watch Express as he comes around the corner. A good angle for Shady to work with. That'll go in if it's closed, but it's getting for Darksided now control, and they're still finding it in front of net.
Darksided are all about control, and the fact that they're keeping this forward means that they'll eventually get a goal if they hold it up. Tainted Minds have the tendency to lose boost in defense.
Dumbo waiting back. Pressure still continuing to erupt in front of Tainted Minds. The cross from Shady. Jules now from this wall. The CJ hangs up. We need to see those passing plays, the confidence come back into Tainted Minds. We saw it in League Play. We saw it in this series 2 weeks ago. Now for Jules, he's found the breakaway, but Shady's there to recover the ball off that back wall, still in danger. Dark-sided. They'll eventually find the clear, but no boost to follow up with the shot.
Tainted Minds, they need to find each other. They're a team that all work together. None of them really stand out individual stats, but CJ, Kami, and Jules are all about passing it up to that Kami play.
So now Kami on the defense, and let's see how this Tainted Minds spread goes. Jules off the right wing. Passes still not coming out. The individual dribble from Jules has been foiled a couple of times now. Darksided just reading it so much better. Express off the roof. Big moments from Darksided as their confidence continues to grow ever higher.
And with the save from Shady, that is the first player to reach 150 saves across the OCE Championship.
That's a big feat, and especially since Shady has now come into a position where he
Sorry,
can
that
go
was
to
Express,
RLCS.
not Shady.
Okay, another position where Express can go back to RLCS. 3 minutes left remaining in game 2, and Dumbo coming around the side. It looks like Darksided, they're playing with spacing a lot better. Tainted Minds continue to, I guess, warm up to the series, but how long have you got? Not long. Tainted Minds pop it over the side, but Darksided, they still look in control.
Very much so. They're getting that. They're not getting stuck in their defense for very long, and that's part of Tainted Minds' play. They don't try and get that pressure, but that's advantageous to Darksided.
They look confident with these passes as well. CJ goes for the solo. Jules kind of wins the ball over to that corner. Kami coming back in. Now from Tainted Minds, they're going to be pushed back on the defensive again. The pass play from Dumbo, and Jules is only there to pop it up. It's still 0-0, but you got to say, when will Darksided break Tainted Minds? Finally, the pass comes through, but Tainted Minds a little bit wide.
Dumbo's been so crucial for that Darksided attack. He's their finishing player, the one who's going to get the score in front of the net, and he hasn't quite hit the mark.
Well, that one's popped in front, and Shady slices it down.
Very clever play from Express there on the backboard, and it's just that follow-up here. It was actually Jules who hit that over to the side as well. And you can see the kind of nerves that can affect Jules as he's coming in for such an important match.
I wouldn't say Dumbo looks effective whatsoever. This Darksided mob, when we speak about working as a cohesive unit, they have definitely done it so far.
Often they're looking for positioning over power, so they will make sure they're always in the correct position, but it can sometimes affect their play in that offense because they're in the right position instead of, you know, where the ball's going to go.
It's getting very dire for Tainted Minds. They miss the backboard pressure a second time, and Dumbo comes back in. Shady again, the angle on that center. A lot of infield passes coming in from Darkside in this game too, and it feels like Tainted Minds just don't know how to read them just yet.
Tainted Minds need to find that big clear. They need to be getting this ball behind Darksided and forcing them onto a solid defense.
You can see the confidence again from Darksided. They're pushing up, and said if they can get the ball behind them, Tainted Minds have the pass. Dumbo gets to it first, and now the counterplay. Darksided have that one goal. They look confident as ever, and their gameplay has not changed. Kami brings it back. The backboard is theirs, but Dumbo reacts well, and CJ's just going to try and get something done. Dumbo should be there first.
It looks like Demos is going to be how Tainted Minds turn this around. If they can open up that 3-man defense, they can be able to score.
If it was a best of 5, they'd be looking at match point, but it is a best of 7 for Tainted Minds. Big journey ahead of them. They have to get out of this defense. Darksided bring it back around. 2 members of this corner. CJ goes up for the ball. A nice flick at a wrist for Express.
Express the little pop-up, and it came off this corner play. Tainted Minds still struggling to get those clears, and Kami not able to disrupt Express enough to be able to stop the goal.
It's incredible how Darksided have maintained their fury so far in this series, and walking into game 3, which now looks like is theirs. Tainted Minds, how do you recover from such a dire start?
It's about resetting their attitude. They need to find their play because they still haven't got that confidence after game 1. They still haven't found their ability to get those big, booming plays.
And a third one from Dumbo. That was a bit of a drop, and Shady will come in to try and recover what is left. Tainted Minds scrambling in front of their net, and Darksided walking layers at this point. Game 2 is going to be theirs. They walk into game 3, heads held high. And the grudge match that was so competitive between Tainted Minds and Darksided now moves closer towards Darksided's favor.
Darksided fired up in week 5. They took down Legacy in a 3-1. They proved that they could be a top team They almost took down Chiefs as well, and now they are looking to take down their closest opponents, Tainted Minds.
The Darksided consistent league play then toppled with this start into the qualifying round.
It's been very funny to watch this as well. Darksided have been incredibly controlling, but not in their normal way. They normally go for those demos, they stay well positioned, and they steal the boost. They're not worrying too much about that at the moment. They know that Tainted Minds use a lot of boost. In fact, Kami and CJ use more boost than anyone else on the pitch.
Wow, okay.
So if you hold them in defense, they're going to run out.
I think that adaptation is important because it's what we've seen from, the previous week where Tainted Minds and Darksided went head-to-head. Now they've changed. They've watched that match back and obviously said, this is what we need to adapt on.
Tainted Minds are great at adapting as well, but they need to completely adapt here. They're getting stuck on defense. They're not getting that ability to get those clears and shots. And you can say, you just need to play better. You just need to get better clears. But that can be very difficult in these moments and in these situations to just say, oh, we've got to play better. They need to find out what's going to work in that style. Maybe it is about holding one person back and maintaining the ability to get that easy clear when it comes.
Well, potentially, but in Game 3, they're running out of opportunities. Tainted Minds are now facing down the barrel of a potential 3-0 Darksided. Let's jump into that Game 3.
It is a best of 7, so it would be 4-0 to finish this one off, and that would be an almost record for Darksided against Tainted Minds.
For Tainted Minds, that was their first opportunity, and now they're breaching out. This is good. This is a good start.
Last year, Tainted Minds got a win over Darksided in every single crucial match, and you can see why. What a pass play.
You want to say the word adaptation? I'll give you the word adaptation. That is the 1, 2, and 3. CJ says that ball is looking dead at me. That was clean. That was Tainted Minds.
CJ starting to challenge the top players in OCE in terms of passing ability. What a play in that first touch.
Slipping the ball through Tainted Minds. The confidence seems to have resumed. Can they maintain it? Darksided bring the ball up. This is Shady. Runs into Jules. And now for Express, the double touch. It was there. Darksided still having that momentum boost and defense coming through again for Tainted Minds.
You can feel the difference already. Tainted Minds getting on the attack twice now and leaving Darksided as the one looking for a chance, and Kami, he's banged that in, it bounces out, Shady just getting in the way.
Such a narrow save, but Tainted Minds managed to keep the ball down here. They've recovered slightly, and Jules and CJ, look at the spacing. As I say that, they both go for the ball. 4 minutes left remaining, Jules brings it back around, Shady runs up for the ball. Jules to steal the boost as he runs out. Tainted Minds come so close, but you can see the opportunities coming up.
Tainted Minds are putting the ball in interesting spots that force Darksided to not be able to get those clears they were getting. And this has just completely turned around. They've all of a sudden got pressure for the first time today.
Shady brings the ball back forward. Express hangs in the midfield, and Jules misses the second touch, but the communication channels are there as CJ brings it back over the corner, now in front of net. Jules wants to come in powerful as always. Sweeping the ball clear. CJ hangs back as well. Kami now going to have to deal with Jules, who brings it forward. That double touch a little bit wide.
He went for the risky play. He thought, I can go it alone, but he could have just waited for Kami in that situation. Jules just very nervous to get involved in the play.
It's like Tainted are finally stealing the boost back away. Kami around the corner for the opening. Miscommunication or perfect plan. Not too sure about that one.
When we talk about Darksided looking to control the pitch, Tainted Minds do it in a very different way. It's all about stealing boost. They will drive forward into the opponent's half just to get their big boost in that corner.
For such an important series, are qualifying for the finals. Our top 4 in OCE. This is a series that makes third seed. Darksided sitting strong with 2 games, but Tainted Minds have switched on. 2 minutes 40 in front of net. Dumbo pops it up. And now for Shady, he wants to come down. Express wants to slide it across. And Darksided, although they're coming close again, Tainted Minds continue to hold out.
That's a clever defense from Jules as well. He just floated up behind that ball, waited for the Darksided attacker to hit it, so he'd guarantee himself a good 50-50.
Kami losing possession. Express moving with the pace of the ball. Now left for Shady as it goes all the way back. Dumbo will have to react to Kami, but it's been sent to this corner again. The bounce for Shady doesn't work. Jules with the demo, but Dumbo to recover. And now getting into those demolitions, looks like Tainted Minds. They're breaching and they're clearing.
But you can see as Tainted Minds double committed, Darksided instantly turn it around. It doesn't matter the fact that one of them is demoed, they'll know they'll respawn in the back half.
The experience of the Darksided roster cannot be underestimated. For Tainted Minds, that one goal is never secure. Shady with a good pass back. Demolition responded by Dumbo. The pop-up from Kami.
That's something we saw really effectively last week. For the first time in my history, Darksided were going for defensive demos and demos in the midfield to take control of the match.
Good touch from Kami, that'll save it. And that one's actually been popped back. And what can Tainted Minds do? Well, against Dumbo, I'm not sure. Express goes back up to the ball. 1 minute 30 remaining. Darksided keeping it down this side of the field. But opportunities, they're turning into misses here. Jules now takes one for himself.
Shady's living on this wall. He knows where he wants to be. It's where he gets a lot of aerials, and you cannot trust the defense when Shady is on the attack.
It's a good touch from Jules. That'll bring it in front of net, and now taken away. Kami wants to center it. Over to Jules. The play again.
These angles coming out from Tainted Minds, these pass plays, it is phenomenal that they've picked this one up. And Kami again, finding those clever angles to get it into the midfield.
There is such a big swing now for Tainted Minds. 2 goals up in Game 3, 1 minute remaining, and Darksided now have to look at what has changed because Tainted Minds are gaining so much more control.
We said this at the start of the series. The longer it goes on, the harder it is for Darksided because their opponents are going to figure out and predict what they're doing. And it's another net opportunity, but again, the side post.
CJ will get demoed, comes close, but it might be enough for Tainted Minds to really hold on to this pressure. In defense, they look okay, but Express goes a little bit slower. Shady for the shot. First is CJ from this corner. Dumbo will have another touch. Good pass. Darksided are blocked again.
Tainted Minds look like a completely different team with all of this confidence. And it's up to Darksided to start shutting down by getting that pressure, by stealing the boost, and most importantly, picking up on the demos.
You can see they're starting to break away from the defense. This was what Game 3 was about. They weren't getting shut out, which is always Tainted Minds' flaw. If they get held back, Tainted Minds will not be the same team. They will fall.
Even CJ, a big turnaround from Game 1. He was winning that aerial. It allowed them to turn it around for that goal. But it was Darksided winning every aerial before. Now it's Tainted Minds.
A 3-0 victory in game number 3. And Tainted Minds are back. Now for Darksided. How do they continue to grow like they have during league play and in this series that matters for the 3rd seed? How do they continue to adapt?
It's going to be very difficult again because Tainted Minds go for a lot of those intercepts that are going to shut down Darksiders' play. They need to find another adaptation that they don't normally go for. Something like some dribble plays. More demos. I mean, they are great demos. They are the top demo team. But they're not going for them right now, and it's not adding enough dimensions to their play.
Feels like Jules is matching the demos more than anything. Jules is coming through, Tainted Minds playing the aggression factor, and for Tainted Minds, this is always their strong suit, as you said in that game. The further the series goes, the more Tainted Minds have that push.
It's about confidence. We've seen it every single LAN. They always start terribly. In fact, I don't think they've ever won a first series at LAN.
Yeah.
And then they come back, and by the end of the day, they're one of the top teams in Oceania. You can say that by the end of most series, they are the 2nd best team, but it can take them too long to go get running.
A slow start in league play, slow running. Doesn't matter if it was a series or league play in its entirety. Tainted Minds have now got the moment where they say, hey, we've run league play with Jules. We're now in the position we need to take it.
I think Darksided need to be way more proactive here as well. They can't sit back like they were in Game 1 and Game 2. Tainted Minds are playing too well and getting too good of a strike to be able to stay back and defend. They need to be the ones pushing forward.
Well, I want to see more of those demolitions. I want to see the matching of Tainted Minds in Game 1 and Game 2. Tainted Minds were completely shut out. They were always on the defense. This time, they were to breach and clear. For game number 4, we'll find out if that factor stays the same. Tainted Minds, they've found a game, but Darksided still have the element of control.
Darksided need to breach through the Tainted Minds defense, but it is up to Tainted Minds to continue shutting out Darksided.
Now for Jules, an early start off this corner, takes it himself, pops it back. Tainted Minds play fast and hard to get, but it's always worth it in the end. 20 seconds have passed, bringing the ball forward now on the defensive, but for no longer. Jules clears it away. Kami will read this one perfectly. Comes off that back wall now for the dunk down. Good angle from CJ.
This angle was perfection. Look at him get up to the ball so quickly and send that straight into the right-hand side of the net. Shady was expecting that shot on the left and could not cover that one spot.
And it's that unpredictability that makes Tainted Minds.
And he was so fast in the air too. Most aerial goals per game coming out from CJ.
That's because he just shows so many elements of control. Jules sends it forward. CJ going to be one to react here, and Darksided has started off on a bad foot, but let's see what else they can do. Darksided and Tainted Minds came so close before, and that pinch works out well for Darksided themselves.
Really big turnaround now for Darksided to get this early on. It changes up the game completely, and they shut out a Jules dribble.
Dumbo has been fantastic during league play.
He's just not afraid to commit up in that forward half, and it allows them to get risky or sort of maybe chanceful goals like that.
I think for Darksided, they've been very reliant on his performance throughout league play. CJ up to the ball again. Darksided continue to hold on now with that one goal. There's that change in pace. You can see Shady and Express walking up the field, and Tainted Minds getting shut out a little bit again. Good pass, but a miss from Dumbo as I was talking him up. Now Tainted Minds should be able to react well to this ball. Jules coming in. Kami comes in red hot as well. So go back to the midfield. Darksided able to send it all the way up the field. That's a clear into a shot off the backboard. The third touch from Shady, and it goes wide.
That's not good enough. Shady should be scoring that, and we can see in the past that he has struggled during high pressure plays. Last time these two faced in the OCE Championship Finals, Shady had a big miss on the open net that still haunts him to this day.
1-1, and maybe the score could be different. Tainted Minds bringing it to this right corner. Dribble from Express. He'll come down with two members intact. Shady brings it back. That's a miss again. Dumbo coming off the side. The demolition in net. Does it create the aggression? Dumbo goes backwards. Turns into a good pass for Express. He pops it up. He's bumped by his teammate.
That's another one of those big plays by Dumbos, those risky challenges, and it's ended up with an open net. The chance for them to get these goals is to keep the ball in that half, to continue making these big dunks, and also they finally beat out Tainted Minds in the air.
Second goal for Dumbo, and Darksided take the lead. You can just see there the pressure is starting to build for Tainted Minds, and that is not a good thing.
They don't need to try and go for these passes. They're all about building pressure at this moment. Putting Tainted Minds on defense, that is not where they like to exist.
Well, the center again. Express has a shot, and Shady is hanging all the way back. Jules going to come in off that backboard. It's read well by Dumbo. Now the clear off the left wing will be intercepted, and Jules and Kami, they hang back. The corner boost taken by CJ, which means he'll be able to run upfield through the center. There's no infield pass just yet, but Kami loses possession once more. Jules going to come slow. Dumbo slides the ball. That's a nice touch from CJ.
But you saw how much he was committed up, trying to creep forward, looking to get on the attack, despite being on defense, and this is what allows Darksided to actually maintain the ball in their half.
Coming in a lot faster, Darksided now. Pass back, the confidence here. They'll still lose the ball. In comes Kami.
Very fast play out. The CJ pass plays have been critical to the success of Tainted Minds throughout this series. The pinch off the corner, beating out the defender, and no one was ready for that.
Kami knocked on the door. No one was there. He broke the door, and he walked in confidently. 2-2. 2 minutes remaining in Tainted Minds. They've taken that aggression all the way back.
They really should add a door to the goal so it can be opened up.
It would be so much nicer for Darksided, but no!
CJ, what?
That shouldn't have happened. Darksided find the lead once again.
This is heartbreaking. I cannot believe that this goes through. Shady just off the corner, and that could be a series loser right there.
This could be Darksided taking out Game 4. The difference now has to be recovered by Tainted Minds. Darksided, momentum again, continues to swing in their favor.
And just like we saw Shady in their match in the OCE Championship, that can be devastating. It can completely turn around the series if they don't have the mental fortitude.
There is 145. This is not Legacy we're looking at where they always seem to recover. This is Tainted Minds, and we know they can be brought down. 1 minute 30. Jules now off the corner with Kami. Darksided happy to wait patiently here. Express and Dumbo, they're playing with time, and that is a light touch. Now in comes CJ. He reaches the ball. Kami, the pass is there. He reacts well in front of net for Tainted Minds. They're coming close.
They're getting these opportunities. They're going for the big strikes, but you can see they're not continuing up with the attack. And that was a bit of a desperation play against the backboard. A dangerous one, but not able to commit Darksided.
Still, it's making time for Darksided. They're able to push up and through the center field. Tainted Minds looks like the ball's always going to get cleared against their favor. On the corner now, Dumbo, he's going to be the one you're watching because he'll come in red hot if Express can get the touch. Turns into a bouncer. It's a pass all the way back. CJ unable to react in time. 50 seconds remaining in Tainted Minds. They play out of this corner. The dunk down. Good play.
Kami's passes are now the ones stepping up for Tainted Minds. Look at this first touch and to slam this down for CJ in waiting. That is team play to a T.
That is the Kami to a T that has represented OCE in the past, and that could represent OCE again. It's a long wait, it's a long struggle, but hey, 3-all.
Tainted Minds all about speed, and they're starting to outpace Darksided in defense.
So now with that slip of the goal before, Darksided do not have the advantage. It's 3-all, but Shady comes in red hot off that side wall. Tainted Minds scrambling a little bit there. 30 seconds left remaining. Can you see it for Darksided? Can they find their way through this defense? An intercept onto Jules Dumbo and Kami in the net.
Just harassing him.
A pain in the ass as it seems. Shady now off the side. 10 seconds left remaining. The pass is wide. A good bump into Jules, but CJ will still be there into the defense. Tainted Minds, looks like another overtime is upon us. But the miss again. Darksided have the shot. Kami keeps it up. Express goes over the top, and overtime, we begin again.
Clutch save at the end to keep them in this game, and Tainted Minds need to prevent Darksided from taking the win, or they'll be on match point.
2-1. How far will it go? Kami gets the pass wide. He dribbles it a little bit around this corner. Only 10 seconds into overtime, and now in front of net. Tainted Minds had their opportunity. All the way forward, Darksided now push up. Jules, it's a light touch, which means Darksided are able to follow with this ball. Unfortunately, Express doesn't get the touch. Shady hangs it back, and that was a close call. One that Tainted Minds are taking full advantage of, but the pinch will help get it cleared away.
Tainted Minds have found their strength. They're hitting the corners and getting it behind the Darksided defense in a way that they can't clear.
Challenging for Darksided. They keep themselves up this side of the field, however. And now for the defense of Tainted Minds, the bumps, the demolition. Try to come forward with that net. There's no one in it, ladies and gentlemen. Is the ball soon to join? Kami goes for the slow poke, and he makes it.
Tainted Minds, it's Kami to finish it off, and it's so fitting for their team. That is his first solo goal of the entire season. He's done it himself, he's put that in the net, and he's taken Tainted Minds to a tie.
And I know someone like Kami would be happy to hear that. He'd be happy to see now that Tainted Minds stand even with Darksided. A 2-0 start, Tainted Minds find themselves neck and neck once again.
That's 2 games in a row. I mean, obviously it's been incredibly close with these overtimes, with these, in that case, 1-goal games.
Yeah.
But now, Tainted Minds, we might be looking at them charging ahead. They can take this momentum, they can figure out their play and take it to the next level.
They've now finally gotten behind Darksided, something that I thought we weren't going to see in this series. That looked like a Darksided shutout. However, Tainted Minds' ability to move forward in a series, to change, is always not questionable, always solid.
And they're winning the races. Darksided like to sit back a lot, and they can't do that because Tainted Minds then get a free touch, and we've seen what happens when they do. Kami getting these fantastic angled passes, CJ, the man in the midfield, and even Jules just stepping around and feeling a lot more confident than he normally would, getting a lot better touches than he was at the start of the series.
That was the problem because Jules wasn't in his prime at the start of this series.
None of them were.
Well, Kami now feels like a better Kami. And during league play, I was questioning Kami a little bit. I was saying, is Kami on, is Kami off? And the person who I think most of all was struggling in Tainted Minds.
Well, it's hard to say because he always plays solidly, but we're expecting Kami to be one of the best players in OCE.
The Kami.
Last year, he came through so big, and now we're seeing a little bit of that coming back.
So now for Tainted Minds, they've got the momentum, and how does it swing forward for a qualifying position? This is so important. And right off the kickoff, Tainted Minds show they're not holding back.
And in their mental fortitude, it stayed strong. That one goal from CJ's mistake is not going to haunt them.
That's right, they recovered. They did it so well. Shady now off the wall. CJ will get there first, and they've lost possession as Dumbo does a slight touch. Express is all the way behind. Shady passing it up. Now for Dumbo. Goes over the top, and Jules will pinch it up. This works out well. Express reads it, the swing through. Jules now coming in as well. Off this left-hand wing in game number 5. Dumbo in front of net will save it away. Shady to help clear, and Tainted Minds, they can taste the qualification spot, the 3rd seed to go up against Legacy for a chance at RLCS.
Both of these teams need that 3rd to avoid Chiefs, the devastating victors, and Express is turning this match around.
That was a good follow through from Express, and unfortunate touch there. Jules didn't hold possession, and Express takes it away.
And it's again that play in that forward half. The first player on Darksided will always go for a risky dunk.
And it works out in this occasion. Darksided now with a 1-0 lead, but that off the kickoff. Ladies and gentlemen, hits the crossbar. CJ unable to recover, but Tainted Minds again, I gotta say, they come close.
That's so typical for Tainted Minds.
So
They
you better
have
say
a
that
lot.
sucks.
That sucks. That sucks for Darksided. It sucks for Tainted Minds as well, I guess.
Well, but Tainted Minds, they come close again, and with 1 minute only passing, Darksided holding the lead, and again coming so close, hitting that crossbar. Now for Tainted Minds, they're recovering out of the defense. Kami brings it forward out of this corner. CJ goes up for the ball. Dumbo now slightly goes back down. Kami with the pass over to Jules. Starting to get a lot faster, and again for Tainted Minds. This is how you continue. Tainted Minds now, 3 minutes 30. Still 1 goal behind. Kami comes off the side. The pass across to CJ. CJ. No one's going to commit up. CJ reads it quite well, but Express is already there. The clear onto this backboard, reaches back down.
These switches from Tainted Minds across the pitch are so effective because Darksided have started stacking up one side in order to maintain control of the ball.
Now from the side, Jules again pops it right through the center. Kami's there, bounces back down, and Shady will be able to react to the clear. Standing in front of net, Darksided have a couple of opportunities. Tainted Minds, they don't feel like they're getting anywhere at the moment. The demolition onto Express will halt anything but a quick bump here and there. Darksided still find themselves right where they want to be. Dumbo finds the breach and clears it.
2 demolitions coming out. Darksided opening up the net, and Shady just getting this center. And you can see a lot of their touches as well. Setting up this goal by hitting the ball wide of the post, wide of the net, and forcing the Tainted Minds players to come out.
Because when they do, there's been a couple of misses here and there. There's been a couple of opportunities, but Tainted Minds are not letting that get to them because another shot comes out imminent. 2 minutes 30 left remaining. The crowd are behind Darksided, and we're now with 2-0. I'm sure that will continue to rise.
Something we've seen from Shady and Express all season is their ability to get the clutch saves, the ones where you're diving across the nets, the big pre-jumps, and it makes it so annoying to play against.
Shady hits it on that backside. The dunk down. Nice one, Shady.
Shady on the left corner. What a double touch coming out. That is going to be 3-0 for Darksided.
The slip all the way through. 2 minutes left remaining, and it's going to be a struggle for Tainted Minds to find their way back in this one. They'll be looking at match point if they can secure this win.
Shady with one of the highest number of MVPs throughout the season. The most for his team with 7. The next highest was 5, and he is showing why. Should be able to get that next one.
Your ability to call yourself back from previous moments. The hit up again. Express is now coming back in, and Darksided right where they want to be, in front of that Tainted Minds net. The clear will come through again, but for Tainted Minds, they slip one.
What is happening? We've seen 2 of those throughout this series. Just big misses that should not ever happen
As you're
at
talking
this
about
level.
as well.
Poor Shady. I should never say anything nice.
You've ruined it. 1 minute 50, Tainted Minds. 2 goals now separating. This is a lot more doable than it was 10 seconds ago. Dumbo comes up for the ball. Darksided still continuing to set themselves up. That backboard lightly defended. Jules trying to pepper it again, a Darksided, and they bring it all the way forward. 1 minute 40 to set up there. The demolition trying to slip the ball. 3 defenders and narrowly getting it through.
Darksided using defensive demos to hold on to the lead, and it's going to be so difficult to score 2 goals against Darksided, who love playing defense.
Shady's going all the way forward. Dumbo missing the ball. CJ, good pass, and the demolition will help again.
It's not as difficult when there's 2 players on the pitch, and Tainted Minds attack. You saw all three of them commit incredibly hard. Kami even getting into that position because that demo went so well.
And a great pass by CJ to set it all up. 1 minute 20, 1 goal separates, and Tainted Minds, they have not alleviated any pressure. In fact, it's only just begun. 1 goal separates, 1 minute 15. Now they have to get these plays secure and bring themselves back into contention for that 3-all. How do you do it? 1 minute remaining. Express now over the side with Jules, and he won't get the touch either. Dumbo brings it back. Express runs forward. CJ gonna hit the roof, and Kami commits. Now with a good slide. CJ, good recovery. In fact, pops it up. Express slices it out of that net.
And now that 2 players from Tainted Minds have committed, Darksided are going to turn this around and almost popping that in, but Shady not quite getting the connection.
But a good clutch touch from CJ. 45 seconds. Tainted Minds bring the ball back up the field. Shady has missed the ball. Kami hasn't commit. Another miss. Dumbo goes over the top, and for Darksided, they just want to keep it down their side of the field. Time is in their favor.
That's some of the best communication you see from Darksided. If one of them can't really hit the ball, they'll still go up and tell their teammates that they're not getting the touch so that they can follow up faster than Tainted Minds.
Pressure is on, and Tainted Minds are continuing to push up. Shady comes in off the side, and he'll set this one in front of net. Jules as well. The pass over to Kami. Dumbo helps it roll. 10 seconds, and Darksided may have done enough. The ball getting sent up. CJ, the last play for Tainted Minds. Shady brings it round the side. Jules and Dumbo, they'll have to get it quick smarts. Kami hits it up, but Darksided, they knock it down.
You get worried anytime Tainted Minds have that ball in the corner. That's where they're scoring from it, not this time. Darksided hold on. They're looking to reverse their chances and get into that 3rd seed.
They started off with 2 games, and now they've found their way back in. For Darksided, they are 1 step away from qualifying for our finals, our top 4 of OCE.
They won't have to have a second chance. They will go through if they win this next game. But the way Tainted Minds have been playing still feels like it is such a back and forth tug of war that it could be just one big goal that gets them the win.
And for Darksided, they want this win. They get through as 3rd seed. They go up against Legacy.
Yeah.
And for them, that is the best chance possible considering how they defeated Legacy. For Tainted Minds, they still want this position. They want redemption at Legacy.
Even if they beat Tainted Minds here, they've proven that they can beat Tainted Minds. They've proven they can take Legacy. And they've also proven they can go very close with the Chiefs. So going into that finals, the amount of confidence, the proof that they are able to come into at least 2nd place is right there in the pudding.
They've been consistent in league play. Now, when it counts in playoffs, they have to go further. For Darksided, it looked like Tainted Minds were able to get behind them at one point, but Darksided are always able to change. The Demolition's coming out a lot more as well.
The demos starting did a lot to the Tainted Minds defense, but just holding them in the defense in the first place where they're uncomfortable removes that confidence factor from Tainted Minds.
And now for Darksided, they're on match point for qualification in our top 4. The setup from Tainted Minds. They do not want to go down here. They will have to verse the winner of Retirement Home and Jam. There is another opportunity, but here is where it counts. In game number 6, the first shot from CJ. Comes close, Shady swings by, saves it, but Jules actually putting the pace on the ball once again, and tempo continues to go up for Tainted Minds.
Dumbo's very good at avoiding those demos too. Express in that back half didn't let Kami get that aerial demo that opened up the net.
That turns into a pass, it hits the back wall, there's no defense, and the banger from CJ.
So quick, so fast, just getting these aerial shots, and if the ball's ever hitting your backboard, Tainted Minds should be able to score. And another unfortunate miss from Shady.
But for Darksided, I mean, they have to sit back and say, that is a miss, it's okay. Move forward. That's the thing I've been saying all series. Tainted Minds start.
I was speaking with Dumbo last night. I said, how do you win? They say, we need to hit the ball. And that is a bad sign coming out from Shady.
Well, in front of net again, they're going to have the same problem as Kami comes in high. Jules going to come in low. And CJ says that's not really the way to go. 4 minutes left remaining and holding that 1 goal lead. Shady fakes it out, I guess, and the punch forward. And looks like nerves for Darksided might be making them a bit uneasy.
It's so difficult for them right now in defense. They know that Tainted Minds are going to take the advantage here in this series if it goes too long.
Kami coming close off that backside, and he'll then bring it back forward through the center field.
Really spanked them in that play, and now they have to turn this completely around.
3 minutes 30, Tainted Minds on the defensive, and it's going to hit that back wall again. Pinchy from Kami, he brings it back up. CJ now, and Jules. The passing play is going to come through. This is a good read from CJ, but even better from Express. Darksided are able to keep it in this side of the field, and that's what matters. Now stealing it over. Kami, the solo play.
This is important to see Kami getting those solo plays, something that we haven't seen much, and it adds an entire dimension to his repertoire.
Because for Darksided, and they're trying to read exactly how Kami's going to set up the ball off that backboard now. Darksided, good block from CJ. CJ, he's going to run away with the ball. The backboard is there. CJ says, take it, baby. It's yours.
It's CJ, the superstar of Tainted Minds, and I think he's been an unsung hero through most of this season so far. The way he's dominated the midfield, the way he's got this ball onto attack, he has turned around the series.
With 3 minutes left remaining, Tainted Minds want to travel to Game 7. And I didn't come here for no shenanigan Game 5s or, 3-4 nils. I came here for all 7 games. And Tainted Minds and Darksided, they want to deliver in front of net again. Tainted Minds are having ample opportunities, and Darksided are feeling the strain of a team that can go fast.
This is so nerve-wracking for Darksided. They're on that spot where they could go to Game 7, and as we saw last time, Tainted Minds ran away with it.
Jules brings it round the side. It's going to be in front of net again off that backboard. CJ has already scored 2. He wants the 3rd. 2 minutes 30 left remaining. Tainted Minds intercepting the ball and getting the pass off again. CJ, really good reaction here, and a good block from Kami. We'll keep it down this side.
Awesome work by Dumbo there to turn this around. They're going to find those moments again where Tainted Minds commit 2 members. Another chance now. Darksided can turn this around, but CJ with the bump to stop it.
Shady with 1 in defense, blocks it away. CJ comes back in, brings it to a standstill. Tainted Minds have commit 2 people, but Jules hanging around in the midfield, and there's a small change from Tainted Minds. Jules goes up for the ball, and now for Dumbo, bringing it back around. CJ actually dribbling it around net and uses the speed of the ball to his advantage.
1 minute 40 for Darksided to take out the series before it goes to a dangerous Game 7.
And now bringing it back, 1:30. Darksided running out of time. Shady for the first shot.
The infield pass, it exists. It doesn't get intercepted. They found that play, and Express off the wall gets that over to Shady for a banger of a goal.
That's what we need to see. Darksided out thinking Tainted Minds. 1:30, they've got a goal that separates them. They've got to do it again.
Very durable, though. We do know that Tainted Minds have the best kickoff in this series. Let's get turned around, and now Darksided have the chance to set up the aggression on the kickoff.
Good pass over to CJ. CJ narrowly. Express makes it all the way back, and Shady again with Kami. Express over the side. There's a good setup for Darksided. The second shot goes wide from Shady. I don't think he's having the greatest series here.
He's definitely not. We even saw him in the past at LAN in these high-pressure moments being one of the best players, if not the best player in OCE, and it's completely the opposite today.
We know right now the pressure is on Darksided, a great team throughout league play, and now for the qualification spot with match point on the line. 50 seconds left remaining. Tainted Minds are taking control again. 45 seconds, that 1 goal difference doesn't seem to phase them. Good pass over to Kami, reaches high, now goes low. Darksided bringing it around again, and their time is running out fast. Tainted Minds might just have to defend 1 more, and that could be it.
35 seconds, but the pressure play has started for Tainted Minds. This is their opportunity. That's how much time they need to get a goal if Tainted Minds can't get as many clears.
Jules puts speed on the ball. CJ wants to get up to it first, has the shot onto Shady. 20 seconds left remaining. Darksided still on match point. Still want this badly. They pop it up. Express now has 19 boosts. You can't do much with 19 boosts, but he makes the most of it. Goes wide. That bump will help out. Darksided still in a great position. Shady has maximum. Express goes back. That's going to be a big clear. They have to keep this one up, and that's going to be a struggle. Game 7 is looming, and Darksided want to end it now, but Tainted Minds have done enough. They'll pitch it in front of net, and again, Game 7, here we come.
We have the final game. We knew it was going to go the distance, but would we get to Game 7? Right there at the end, Tainted Minds playing so clever, not going on the defense. They kept up the attack, they kept up the pressure, and didn't allow Darksided to get them pressure.
There was one moment from Darksided though, that pass off the wall, infield. That was a good bang.
That was a huge turnaround, and normally we see Tainted Minds hold 1 person in position to go for that intercept, to get rid of that pass play. But both of them were looking for defense. They both were looking at the net, and playing towards the ball, and that is where the nerves, where those breakdowns in rotations can happen. But of course, Tainted Minds still took it out.
But now we're in Game 7, and we're into a moment that's happened before. Game 5, Tainted Minds took it out, and they've been building up in this series. And what's to stop them now, considering that Darksided have come so close?
In Game 5 last time, it was a 2 apiece. It got to a tied game before Tainted Minds ran away, but we're not seeing Tainted Minds truly take control of the pitch as much as they have. It's been very back and forth, and it's all been about who can hold their opponents in defense the most.
Well, now into Game 7, we're going to find out who takes that first qualification spot, joins Legacy and the Chiefs in our final. Remember, in OCE, we only have 2 RLCS spots, so it is ever so tight, and we are going to find out who could be joining it now.
It all comes down to this one game. It means so much for these players. It can make the difference between going to the World Championship or going home in the finals.
Tainted Minds want to return in style. Darksided Express has been before, but he wants to take Shady. He wants to take the boys with him, and right now, Express bringing it back. Dumbo wants to join in. 20 seconds of pass on the defensive immediately. Tainted Minds, they keep it towards that infield. They bring it back forward. Dropping the ball down is Kami, and Darksided, they're looking to play slow. Is it the right approach? As CJ passes it and it gets taken away.
This could be devastating for Dumbo as well, who's lost out in Game 7 twice to qualify in the past, and he could lose out in Game 7 to put himself up against the Chiefs potentially.
The good bump from Jules and a block at the same time. He'll bring it all the way forward. Tainted Minds, slow from this corner. It's so well paced, so well thought out. They want to be scarce, but Express, he starts Darksided off.
It was Dumbo reading that play from CJ. He knew that he had no boost. He knew that CJ would likely go into the center of the pitch, and it set up this big shot from Express.
Now Tainted Minds sitting behind it, 4 minutes left remaining. Has not stopped them before, but Darksided with everything on the line in Game 7. This is a different time, a different place.
It's interesting to see how they adapt when they know that Shady isn't playing like the best Shady we see. They've put Express further up. He's playing immaculately and finding those angles.
Express now coming head-to-head with Kami, and although he is playing well, you have to be careful. CJ looks like he's on a rampant as well as Kami. From this corner, Jules comes up too. The rotations from Tainted Minds are going to take them all the way back.
That big clear allows them to chase it up and go for another one of those big, risky 50-50s that could set up the play. Shady almost getting that center.
That's a good read from Jules. It goes over the top and Kami looks
Back
for the
and forth.
banger. Really big clears, really well matched. CJ and Shady, over the top it goes. Dumbo is actually out of position here. Express going to be the last defender, and he easily gets it forward. Kami now pass over to CJ. It pops, it drops. It does not lock in front of that net. And now for Jules, a slow touch again. Kami! Solo play is coming close.
The solo plays coming out is so tense. They've got 3 minutes and they're just looking for the goal.
They do not want to end here, as Tainted Minds have brought themselves all the way back. Darksided have been grasping at straws in the past couple of games, but now they have the lead. Can they maintain it? Off that backboard, Kami goes over the top.
That hit his wheels that could have gone down, but it rolled across his car instead. Very difficult play to make, and next time he won't miss.
Under pressure, 2 minutes 30. Tainted Minds. This is a good pass over to Kami, but it's intercepted, and Darksided maintaining their level of possession. It hits the roof, it'll come back down in front of net. The demolition. Tainted Minds getting halted again. The aggressive play from Darksided. That will do enough. How do you get past Darksided right now? Well, Jules, light touch over the top. They're congregated around this midfield. CJ hangs back as well. 2 minutes 10. A light touch. They get that. 2 members went forward. Now can CJ get the pace on the ball? Shady reads it better. Off the backboard. Dumbo wants to lock it down, and he gets a second.
The complete turnaround for Darksided. They want this so bad as that big booming backboard puts the ball right in the back of the net.
And in Game 7, when it all comes down to this, Darksided have the lead. They look like they could have the game.
But we still have 2 minutes for Tainted Minds to make the comeback. They are desperate to go, not only to avoid Chiefs, but because they want to beat Darksided. They have to beat Darksided if they want to get to the World Championship.
That's right, 2-0, 1 minute 40. Express goes over the top, the third's there. Darksided might have just done it.
They've turned this around. Are they the second best team in Oceania all of a sudden, despite losing to Retirement Home? They've got 3-0 here, and Tainted Minds are on the ropes.
Dark-sided, they find that lead early. They continue their growth, and in Game 7, they don't want it to even go near overtime. Time is running out, and that's good for them. Bringing it around the side, Tainted Minds now have to get these passing plays online. They need to be quick, they need to be fast, and all in all, that Demolition will do exactly that. Bringing it forward, Kami waiting in front of net, CJ from the corner as well. The pass is going infield, it's blocked well. Jules keeps it up, Kami to finish it down. The dunk denied, and in that, maybe the game too.
Frustrating moments as Darksided are so good at those clutch saves again, just getting up to the right spot at the right time.
Bring it forward again, a minute 15 remaining. Shady has the banger. Kami goes up, hits the crossbar, comes close. The finisher here as well. And Darksided, they just want to put more pepper on the salt. With timid eyes, both Yummy and Korea agree that this is probably going to end. Express comes in again. That's a pop-up, and that is the nail itself.
4-0. Who thought this would happen? Who thought Darksided could turn the script around on Tainted Minds? But we're still seeing a Game 7 coming out from these teams.
This is strong. This is turned around from when they met during league play. Darksided have truly found their revenge. And they will go forward. They will qualify for our online final in Game 7. And what a clawback this was.
We have to look back at game number 1 and 2. Tainted Minds were not confident. They were not ready for this Darksided attack. And it could have been the big difference if they started out much stronger.
Tainted Minds, that's right. Maybe games 1 or 2, that would be the difference. That would be the closer. Darkside have shown how much they wanted. And now Tainted Minds are going to have to make that lower run. They versed the winner of Retirement Home and Jam for the last qualification spot. And remember, we've seen Jam go up against Tainted Minds earlier in league play, and it was not good.
I'm so scared of Darksided here in the finals. We've seen that the top 4 teams in Oceania are closer than any time before. Any league play previously, there's always been, 2 top teams, 3 top teams. Well, now there's 4, and Darksided are making a showing of being that number 2 team.
Game 7, 4-0, convincing win from Darksided, and performance from Express, as you can see there. Now Tainted Minds back to the drawing board, and their opportunities continue to slim.
We saw Express last year be one of those top players, but he kind of fell off throughout this season. So to see him go big in this playoffs is a big showing.
Especially finishing with a hat-trick as well. What a
Yeah.
way to finish when you're going to take out a game in Game 7. But the adaptation I love from Darksided. The first game you open out, they had tons of demos. They changed up in the next game, and every time they had a loss or a close game, they flipped the style they were playing on its head to try get an edge.
That's what it was. It was always a close game between these two teams. The 4-0 was the biggest showing at the very end, but it was always the 3-all, the 3-2. It was never by a large margin.
No, both of them was very back and forth, and we saw both of them trying to take control of the pitch, but because they were, it was sort of like a 50-50 battle in the midfield.
Yeah, from what I noticed, it ended up actually skewing a lot of the time in Tainted Minds' favor in terms of possession. But Darksided always let them get possession in a way that wasn't meaningful. It's like, you can have the ball, but we're not going to give you a good chance to get a shot that we can't defend.
So let's break it down a little bit further, gentlemen, because we got to look at our contender for Omened by HP, and which individual would you pick out of that close series?
For me, I think I'd be looking forward at Express. He had a phenomenal game, and the fact that he stepped up when Shady wasn't performing as we saw last week, his adaptation and the ability to perform in that new role was exemplary.
I think Express as well, yeah.
Express takes it, and moving forward, he'll be very happy going up against Legacy in the first match of the finals, but that's not all. If you want to join in some more Rocket League activities, throwdownesports.com, and you can go there and sign up for the Rocket League Community Cup. And of course, the open qualifiers are open for the open division, I should say. We've already got our senior division there. However, coming up next, I love you. Coming up next, we do have Retirement Home taking on Jam. Now, this is not for a qualification spot, but this will knock a team out. Do not go anywhere. Our best of sevens for our top 6 playoffs continue shortly.